number 4, we ready, gentlemen? Review and take action on purchase of vehicles for fire suppression and EMS and related equipment.
EMS, I think we approved at the prior meeting to ask for 2.
Yeah, we just sent what we think is the final set of specs to them. We're just waiting for their approval and then drawings and send us something back.
You think we'll have it by next Tuesday? Come possibly?
Yeah, I'll make sure it's here by next Tuesday.
Okay. Chief, on fire suppression.
You know, as much as it disheartens me to ask, I would like the commission to take into consideration the purchase of a tower ladder and an engine. Right now we are minus an aerial ladder, minus an engine. Getting those 2 items in here would allow us to release the loaners back to their owners. And second of all, I don't see anything on the horizon that West I-10 is going to turn over any of the aerial apparatus or engines to us. We don't have time to wait till May to wait for an aerial ladder and an engine. I think those, if possible, could be here no later than the 1st of December.
We get an approximate budget item? Do we have one?
Yeah.
We also have, there are 2 vendors in the audience that are interested in the process.
With equipment we rounded to, on the tower, 1.5 million, and on the engine, 750,000. That would be on they should be below that some.
The additional equipment, which is to be carried on either an engine or an aerial ladder, you're looking at anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000 worth of the equipment to help stock that rate. The engine probably being a little more expensive than the aerial ladder, but still right around that $80,000 to $100,000.
That was included in these estimates.
Discussions?
Yeah, Chief, as far as our equipment purchasing plan, what was our schedule for a new ladder truck?
I've got Matt here, but the tower ladder would have hit its 20-year mark in 2018. With that vehicle not being utilized, if that vehicle is parked outside for any length of period of time, I'd feel safe to say that the time of that meeting its service life would be increased by 1 year. So instead of 2018, it'd be 2017. The one engine that right now we've got is 21 years old. It's engine 8, is that correct?
Yeah.
So we've got one that's already exceeded its expected life. Even though engine 8 is not in our possession, sooner or later when everything gets itself out, engine 8 is going to be back. But engine 8 is 21 years old.
That also gives us a reserve, is that correct?
Yeah.
That would give us, seeing that right now we're running 2 engines and we would run the tower as the 3rd vehicle, we would have 2 reserves. Yeah. And also, more importantly, it would allow our volunteers responding from home to actually have apparatus to come to the station and staff.
So we're looking at 2.5.
Yeah. I've talked with Ira a little bit about financing. We're looking and we'll talk probably next Tuesday more.
Okay.
But if we take 3 Tahoes, 2 ambulances, tower, the engine, and bunker gear that we need to buy, we're looking at probably, let's see, what did I come up with? Roughly just under $4 million on the loan to cover all of that, amortized over 10 years. Right now, he's got a pretty good interest rate that thinks he can continue that he got from somebody else.
Well, yeah, we've got actual.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually planning for the regular meeting, but we can probably move it up for next week. Oh, that is right.
That is right.
Yes.
So,
Keep moving on, Rachel.
trying to roll all of that together into one loan. Like I said, we're looking at just about $4 million.
In 10 years.
I haven't done the math yet. That's my next step. We were just trying to do the addition last week. So, we're gonna be.
Yeah, I'm just concerned
We're
with the
gonna be
long-term
really
debt
tight.
service.
Yeah, long-term debt service, we're looking at a little over $17 million between the three major, not counting the ones that will be paid off in the next couple of years. So there's some budgeting we're gonna have to look at. These are items that we can't put off.
No, I understand.
We can probably get it structured so that your first payment would jump over. It's 2016, so first payment might be 2017.
That would probably help, because that would pay off several of the other smaller loans that we've been paying off. But we're
How
gonna
much,
get
how much are we looking, how many sets of gear and how much are we looking for on the gear alone?
We're looking at probably right now about 150 to 160 sets of protective clothing. I've got 11 that are going to be on order next week for the 11 part-timers that we're hiring. In 3 weeks, I'll be looking at 12 additional sets for the full-timers that we're hiring. So if you take a look at that, it drops it down about 150 sets of gear, and that's head to toe everything.
So that's at roughly $3,000 head to toe.
About 3,500.
3,500.
Yeah.
4,000.
once you throw in the helmets, gloves.
No, that's everything. You throw in everything, you're looking at about 38.
You're looking at, I got a tentative bid about 550.
Let me ask this question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
And I know it's a crystal ball. If we don't get our bunker gear back till May, that is now in the possession of the department, what is the condition of the gear at that time?
Well, I know that they have the gear stored both downstairs and upstairs. So the gear that's upstairs is being stored in hot weather, which, you know, it's designed for hot stuff. But anytime you can keep it at ambient temperature, it's better to do so. A lot of that gear, no, let me back up. Some of that gear is going to expire. It's going to hit its 10-year time frame, and will not be turned back in like it should. Most of the gear is probably someplace between the 2 and 6 year age. So there's gear that once we get that gear back that we will not even use. If nothing else, we'll probably use it for non-firefighter training, where we have to put on protective clothing, but we're not putting them in and expose to any products of combustion or any heat.
So for, let's just say, if looking ahead at 2016, what would our rough budget normally be for gear? What we do, I mean,
We've been
Probably-
averaging 100, a little over 100, right around
Yeah.
100,000 a year.
so we're looking at an additional 400
Yes,
for,
Yeah.
to get up to what
but we're starting from zero.
Right, I'm saying, but if they're,
Right.
we'll spend 100 regardless, basically just on the normal.
We would normally
Right, spend
budget
about
100, yes.
Maybe we need to look at that tax rate again.
Crunching other numbers.
Do we have a motion to
I move to start the
proceed
process.
and start the process?
I move to start the process on bidding out a tower and an engine.
Second.
What about the gear? You want to include that?
Gear to, okay, tower, engine, and bunker gear.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
For President Kramer.